Have you ever woken up and felt like your mind was just a little foggier than usual? Or maybe your digestion isn't what it used to be, bloating after meals or that heavy, sluggish feeling you just can't shake off. And let's not even talk about energy levels. It's like your body's running on low battery, no matter how much rest you get. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not broken. In fact, it could all be connected. Your liver, your gut, and your brain, they form a powerful trio inside your body. And the amazing part? What you eat can either help them work in harmony or quietly wear them down over time. Today, we're going to talk about how food, real, everyday food, can start healing all three of these vital systems. No pills, no complicated routines, just smart, proven choices that make a difference, especially after 60. Now, why is this so important as we age? Well, think of your body like a classic car. With the right fuel, it can still run beautifully. But if you keep putting in low-quality fuel, or if the engine isn't cleaned out from time to time, it starts stalling, slowing, and eventually breaking down. Your brain might not be as sharp, your gut might struggle with digestion, and your liver might have a hard time clearing out toxins. But here's the good news. Food is one of the easiest and most powerful ways to change that. So, let's start with one of the most overlooked but incredibly healing foods for your liver and gut: fermented foods. I'm talking about things like unsweetened yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, even miso soup. These foods are packed with natural probiotics, those good bacteria that your gut absolutely loves. When your gut microbiome is balanced, not only does your digestion improve, but your immune system becomes stronger, your inflammation goes down, and guess what? Your mood and memory often get better too. You see, your gut and brain are directly connected by something called the vagus nerve. Scientists even call the gut our second brain. When your gut is inflamed or out of balance, your brain often suffers too, through anxiety, fogginess, even depression. By simply adding a small portion of fermented food each day, say a spoonful of sauerkraut with lunch or a cup of plain kefir with breakfast, you're feeding your microbiome the tools it needs to support your whole system. Now let's talk about your liver. This is your body's silent workhorse. It filters your blood, breaks down medications, helps you process nutrients, and detoxifies everything from alcohol to air pollution. But over the years, especially with processed foods, sugary snacks, or too much medication, your liver can get overwhelmed. That's when you start noticing fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, or skin issues. It's your liver's way of waving a red flag. One of the best foods for healing and supporting your liver is cruciferous vegetables. Don't let the name scare you. They're just simple foods like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, and Brussels sprouts. These veggies contain compounds that activate detox enzymes in the liver and help flush out harmful substances before they can do damage. And you don't need a pile of them to see results. Just adding a half cup of steamed broccoli a few times a week can make a meaningful difference. If you're not a fan of the taste, try roasting them with a little olive oil and garlic. That caramelized flavor can win over even the pickiest eater. Speaking of olive oil, that brings me to another key player: healthy fats. Now, we've all been told to fear fat for decades, but the truth is, your brain is mostly made of fat. And the right kind of fat, like the ones in extra virgin olive oil, avocado, walnuts, flaxseed, and wild-caught fish, are essential for memory, mood, and protecting against diseases like Alzheimer's. Omega-3 fats, in particular, are known to reduce inflammation, support neurotransmitters in the brain, and even improve liver function. If you're someone who's used to cooking with vegetable oil or margarine, consider swapping it out for a cold-pressed olive oil instead. Even just a tablespoon a day, drizzled over vegetables, salad, or toast can help nourish your brain and support liver health at the same time. And when you add a handful of walnuts or ground flax seeds into your morning oatmeal, you're giving your brain a beautiful boost of anti-inflammatory protection. And here's something many people over 60 are surprised to learn. Your gut actually produces up to 9% of your body's serotonin. That's the feel-good chemical that keeps your mood balanced. That means if your gut is sluggish, inflamed, or filled with the wrong bacteria, your mental health can suffer. So, when you eat for your gut, you're not just helping your digestion, you're lifting your mood, improving your sleep, and even protecting your memory. Let me tell you about one woman I met not too long ago. Her name's Linda, and she's 72. She told me she used to feel constantly tired and foggy, couldn't remember where she left her keys, and had a bloated stomach every afternoon. But she made just a few small changes. She started each morning with a warm cup of lemon water and a spoonful of flaxseed, added fermented foods to lunch, and switched her evening snack to half an avocado with sea salt instead of cookies. Within weeks, her digestion improved, her brain felt clearer, and most importantly, she said she felt like herself again. Now that we've talked about how healing your gut and liver can transform your energy and focus, let's keep going and explore some of the best foods that actively repair and protect your brain itself. And when we talk about protecting your brain, there's one powerful truth that often gets overlooked. Your brain doesn't need a miracle drug. It needs steady nourishment. Just like your muscles need protein and your bones need calcium, your brain craves nutrients that support memory, mood, and clarity. And thankfully, nature has given us exactly that, in the form of deeply colorful, antioxidant-rich foods. One of the very best foods for your brain? Blueberries. These tiny little berries are packed with compounds called flavonoids, especially one type called anthocyanins, which help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain. Studies have shown that older adults who regularly consume blueberries experience improvements in memory and even a delay in cognitive aging. Isn't that incredible? Something so simple, so sweet, and so accessible can have that kind of power. And here's the thing. You don't need to eat a bucket of blueberries every day. Even a half cup a few times a week, fresh or frozen, can deliver benefits. Add them to your morning oatmeal, sprinkle them over yogurt, or just enjoy them by the handful. Think of it as a little daily brain treat. But we can't stop there, because while antioxidants protect the brain, we also need to talk about what feeds the brain, especially the brain cells and the communication lines between them. And that brings us to choline, a nutrient most people over 60 don't get nearly enough of. Choline helps produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory, learning, and muscle control. Now, where do you get choline? One of the richest and most effective sources is simple: eggs. Yes, eggs. For years, we were told to avoid eggs because of cholesterol, but the science has changed. For most people, eggs are not only safe, they're a nutritional gold mine. One egg yolk has around 125 milligrams of choline. That's a major brain boost, especially if you're starting to notice little lapses in memory or focus. So, if you've been skipping eggs out of fear, it might be time to bring them back to your breakfast table, gently boiled, scrambled with veggies, or as part of a hearty omelet. Your brain will thank you, and your body gets a protein-packed start to the day, which helps keep your liver and metabolism humming along too. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something we often overlook when it comes to healing the gut, the liver, and the brain: fiber. And I don't mean fiber in the boring cardboard cereal kind of way. I'm talking about delicious, filling, plant-based fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut, sweeps toxins out of your body, and helps regulate blood sugar, which is absolutely crucial for brain health. When your blood sugar spikes and crashes, like after eating too much white bread, soda, or sugary snacks, it puts stress on the brain and liver. Over time, this can even increase your risk of cognitive decline. But when you focus on fiber-rich foods like lentils, chickpeas, oats, chia seeds, and fresh fruits and vegetables, you're stabilizing your system and helping all three organs thrive. Let's take lentils, for example. They're incredibly affordable, easy to cook, and packed with fiber, protein, and folate, a nutrient essential for brain function. One warm bowl of lentil soup can help your gut bacteria flourish, reduce liver inflammation, and support your cognitive sharpness. That's a big win from one humble ingredient. And don't underestimate the power of green leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. These are loaded with vitamins like K, folate, and lutein, which have all been linked to slower cognitive decline. Researchers have found that seniors who eat just one serving of leafy greens a day have brain functions equivalent to someone 10 years younger. Imagine turning back the mental clock just by adding greens to your meals. One simple tip: add a handful of spinach to your morning eggs, toss some kale into a smoothie, or saute Swiss chard with garlic and olive oil for dinner. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. Now, while we're talking about consistency, let me bring up something deeply healing that touches all three areas we're focused on: hydration. Yes, something as simple as drinking enough water. As we age, our sense of thirst naturally dulls, which means you might not even realize you're dehydrated. But your liver needs water to flush out toxins, your gut needs water to keep everything moving. And your brain? Well, it's about 75% water, and it doesn't like running dry. Even mild dehydration can lead to confusion, headaches, fatigue, and irritability. That's why it's so important to stay ahead of it. You don't have to guzzle gallons, but sipping consistently throughout the day can make a huge difference. You can add a slice of lemon or cucumber for flavor and a little digestive boost. Herbal teas count too. Just try to go easy on caffeine if you're sensitive. Now, I know that making changes to your diet can feel overwhelming at first, but here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just start with one change. Maybe it's switching to olive oil or having a cup of blueberries with breakfast. Then add another, like bringing back eggs or sipping more water. These aren't drastic changes. They're small steps that build up into big results over time. And I promise you, your body will notice. Your digestion might feel smoother, your memory a little clearer. That afternoon fog might start lifting, and most of all, you might begin to feel more like yourself again. That strong, vibrant, wise version of you that's still right there, just waiting for a little support from the inside out. Next, we'll look at how to reduce hidden inflammation through food and the surprising way your liver and brain respond when you cut just one or two ingredients from your daily meals. And while all the foods we've talked about so far are wonderful additions, sometimes the most powerful step is knowing what to take away. You see, certain ingredients, ones that sneak into our meals without much thought, can quietly chip away at your liver, gut, and brain health day by day. And when you remove just one or two of them, the relief can be almost immediate. It's like a fog lifting, a weight coming off your shoulders or your stomach. Let's start with something that's hiding in plain sight: added sugar. Now, we're not talking about the natural sugars in fruit or sweet potatoes. We're talking about the kind that's pumped into processed snacks, soda, pastries, and even many healthy granola bars and yogurts. Excess sugar is like fuel for inflammation. It stresses the liver, disrupts your gut bacteria, and causes those roller coaster blood sugar spikes that leave you feeling drained and moody. And the brain? It's especially vulnerable. High sugar intake has been linked to memory problems, slower thinking, and even increased risk of dementia. But here's the good news. Your body responds quickly when you cut back. Within just a few days of reducing added sugar, many people notice more stable energy, better sleep, and clearer thinking. So how do you start? Read labels. If sugar is one of the first ingredients, try swapping it for something else. Instead of flavored yogurt, go for plain and add berries. Instead of cookies, have a piece of dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate, because when it's 70% or higher in cacao, it's actually rich in brain-boosting flavonoids. Just keep it to a small square or two. Another major culprit that often flies under the radar is refined vegetable oils, like corn oil, soybean oil, and canola oil. These are found in so many packaged foods and restaurant meals. Over time, they create a poor balance of omega-6 to omega-3 fats in your body, which ramps up inflammation and can worsen fatty liver disease, joint pain, even mood swings. Swapping these out is one of the best gifts you can give your liver and your brain. Try using extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil at home. Cook with them, drizzle them over salads, and look for packaged foods that use these healthier oils instead. It's a small switch, but your body notices. And while we're making swaps, let's talk about artificial sweeteners, those little pink, yellow, or blue packets that promise 0 calories but often come at a hidden cost. Many artificial sweeteners confuse the gut, disrupt the microbiome, and may even increase sugar cravings in the long run. Some research also links them to cognitive issues and headaches in sensitive individuals. If you like a little sweetness in your coffee or tea, try natural alternatives like stevia or monk fruit in moderation. Better yet, train your taste buds to enjoy the natural flavors of your food. It doesn't happen overnight, but over time, you might find that an apple starts to taste incredibly sweet and satisfying. Now, I want to share something personal that someone once told me. His name was Carl, 68 years old, retired mechanic. He'd struggled for years with what he called a fuzzy brain. Couldn't focus, always tired. He had gut issues too, bloating, constipation, discomfort after meals. But he didn't want pills. So he did something simple. He gave up sugary drinks, started cooking with olive oil, and added just 1 extra serving of vegetables per day. 3 months later, he said he felt like a new man. His belly wasn't as bloated. He could concentrate better when reading. He even started remembering small details again, like where he put his glasses. And he told me something I'll never forget. I didn't just feel better, I felt hopeful again. That's what food can do. It's not just about nutrients, it's about hope, control, and reclaiming how you feel in your own body. It's about remembering that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement, wisdom, and strength. And if there's one more powerful step to bring everything together, gut, liver, and brain, it's to embrace mindful eating. That means slowing down, chewing your food well, appreciating every bite, and giving your digestive system the chance to do its job without rushing. When you eat with awareness, you give your gut the time to signal your brain that you're full, satisfied, and nourished. So, to recap, not in a list, but in the rhythm of this journey we've shared, you've learned that fermented foods nurture your gut, cruciferous veggies support your liver, and blueberries and eggs fuel your brain. You've discovered how healthy fats like olive oil and walnuts reduce inflammation and support all 3 systems. And you've seen how removing added sugars and processed oils can quickly lighten the load on your body and lift the fog from your mind. These are simple steps, but don't let that fool you. They are deeply powerful. Every small change you make adds up. Every thoughtful choice you take at the grocery store or in your kitchen sends a message to your body. I care. I'm healing. I'm still thriving. And remember, it's never too late. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, your body is still listening. It still wants to heal. And with the right foods, with gentle consistency, it absolutely can. If this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you tried any of these changes already? What's worked for you? Let's support each other on this journey, because healing is easier when you're not doing it alone. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We've got plenty more simple, science-backed tips to help you live stronger, feel better, and stay sharp at any age. Here's to living your best life, with clarity, with strength, and with joy. You've earned it, and you're just getting started.